Yo, I don't need to introduce myself, you know who the fuck I am. First episode's out, and so now everyone has seen the turtle designs, and I don't have to keep it secret anymore, so here's just straight up a custom showcase of not just the turtles, but everything custom that I made for, episode 1. Like, we can move our turtles here. This is a bench I made for part of the turtle's lair. It's just cardboard that I hot glued together and then spray painted. Inspired by like a couch that I saw JP have for his diorama. And that's about it. And then the weapons. The sai and the swords came with the turtles. And they originally were just like a dark gray, but I painted them silver and gold and right here black. But I tried to paint the handles the colors of the turtles' bandanas, but every time I put it in the turtle's hand, the paint would scratch off. So I ended up just taping construction paper there because that's not gonna scratch off like paint would. And yeah, those look alright. I tried to make custom nunchucks. It didn't work out, so I just ended up taking the Mutant Mayhem nunchucks and painting the bottoms gold for Mikey. Holy shit, I lost the other Mutant Mayhem nunchuck. Donnie here, it's literally just a wooden stick that I put some like purple bandage around. Came out really good actually, I really like how this one looks. This is supposed to be vacuum, just trust me, it's a vacuum. And then the backgrounds here too. I had printed out photos I got off of Google and just glued them to a cardboard that I leaned up against the wall. So this is the dojo background, and then this is like their living room background. That's like the couches. Alright, so now we can actually look at the main event, which is the turtles. Turtles are actually missing stuff right now, because, this sheath for Raph's sai has broken off, so I'll have to make a new one. Yeah, it's just gone. But, also, Mikey had headphones inspired by Mutant Mayhem Donnie that are just gone. But I made those out of clay. In fact, actually, here's Mutant Mayhem Donnie. Let's just take his headphones and give them to Mike for this video. There we go. Yeah, so basically, I used the Playmates Mirage Turtles, which all of you accurately guessed, which means that we all equally have no lives if we guessed what toys by the fucking silhouette of it. That's crazy. Yeah, so this is an original release of Playmates Mirage Leonardo. Like, this is the original. And his head's long been lost, so when I was making the Donnie custom, I just made a new head, which was nice because then I could make adjustable goggles to plug into the head. And the head's actually very posable. You can see that the re-releases, because these 3 are re-releases and this is the only original one, they're slightly different colors of plastic. It's easier to tell in person. Because, yeah, they're 2 different kinds of plastic, so the re-releases are slightly darker. And as you can tell, yeah, so originally, the Mirage Turtles had it so if you wanted to bend the elbow, the wrist had to be turned this way. And it was just dumb and not... Okay, here. This guy has a wrist swivel, so I'll just show you. The wrists on these guys were originally always stuck like this, so if you wanted to bend the elbow, it had to be like this way. But if you wanted to turn the wrist the right way, then you had to, and then the elbow could only bend this way. It was dumb and not helpful. So what I did was I cut off all of the turtle's hands and reattached it in the correct position, and now I can bend the elbows, and the wrists are just fine. They don't swivel still, but they're in a different position now. Something interesting, actually. On this original release, I guess the plastic was like softer, but it was easier to cut his hands off than on the re-releases. The plastic's harder. But for the Turtles designs, it's just the Mirage ones, but I changed some colors and stuff. So all of the Turtles have black belts. And then Leo here, I gave him like this black strap that goes around. Here's his sheaths that I made out of paper. I made a tutorial on how to make sheaths out of paper. And you just put his swords right in. I couldn't, something funny actually, I couldn't find a Mikey. So I have original release Leo as Donnie, re-release Leo as Leo, and then these two, I can never tell which is which, but one's supposed to be Raph and one's supposed to be Donnie, and I just turned them into Raph and Mikey. Yeah, for Mikey here, he looks a lot like his 80s toy actually, because of the dark skin, black belt, and then his bands and pads being orange. But then also I took inspiration from like Rise for the purple and blue triangle, and Lightning Bolt, that's pink, not purple. And of course Mutant Mayhem for the headphones. These are not the headphones he had in the episode. I made those ones out of clay. They're just missing right now, so I just gave him Mutant Mayhem headphones. And then this on the back for holding his nunchucks. Pretty simple. And then Raph here. Yeah, I made his bands red. I had to put bands around his feet using clay, and I made that red. And then he also has the black belt, and then Crack in the Shell is inspired by the 2012 version. The X in the Shell is inspired by the Mutant Mayhem version of Raph. And then, of course, because I thought it'd be neat, I gave him this black scarf with bendy wire in it. That's like the big thing that makes this Raph look different from others, is he's got a scarf to make him look emo and edgy. I like it. And then my favorite out of all these customs, actually, is, Donnie here. I don't know, I just like the joints better on this guy, and the head has more mobility. Especially more mobility than Raph, because that scarf really restricts it. Yeah, so Donnie, not just his belt's black, but like his knee pads, wristbands, and elbow pads are all black too. Of course, instead of giving him something that looks like this, I gave him like the one strap around. And his bow staff can go in, no issues. And he can hold the bow staff, no issues, because I was concerned that the bandage would be too thick. Nope. And I made sure that, like, their bands are on opposite sides. I really like these. They're a lot nicer to pose now that the wrists are fixed. The annoying leg thing is unfixable, but it's not as bad as the wrist thing was. Basically, the legs can go out like this, but they don't move forward unless you swivel them around and then move them forward. And so if you want the foot facing the right way, you have to twist it. And it's just weird, man, because now it's going at this angle and the pads over here. But it hasn't become a big issue yet. Yeah, these figures are far from perfect, I think. But with the wrists fixed, they're like a lot nicer. I think fixing the wrists turned them from okay figures to pretty nice ones. But I still wouldn't call them perfect because of this leg thing. That was the customs I made for Shellpunk. And then, oh yeah, while we're here, because there's like one person who keeps asking. Someone asked how I got the turtles to jump. And I said, like, I used my hand and rope, and then they asked how. I said I attached the rope to their belts, and they were asking for a video on how to do that. Basically, I just did whatever I could to make sure my hand was as off-screen as possible, and so, you know, when they're in the air, they look kind of stiff and not like they're moving a lot, because I didn't want my hand to be shown. But yeah, like, for example, Donnie here, I just took, like, here's a weapon I made out of bendy wire. I can just... Okay, that's not working for Donnie. Yeah, here. I can just slide it through and then, like, whoa, he's flying. I sound like I'm mad and irritated probably, but that's just because I just woke up. I'm not trying to sound mean. This weapon is, I made for the Night Watcher for that Raph versus Leo thing that never got finished. All that time ago. So, updates on episode 2, even though episode 1 just came out and I could probably just let it breathe. Animation has not, no production has started in episode 2 yet, because I need some new sets and characters in order to do episode 2. But once I have those, animation will start on episode 2. I always gather the figures and sets first, then I animate, which usually takes the longest time. Then I ask for voice lines for my actors. And then I can edit the entire thing together. And what takes the longest is the animation and the editing. That's always the hardest work. Sometimes the voice acting can take longer depending on like when your actors finally do the lines. So episode 2 is going to happen. It just hasn't reached production yet. Cool. Well, thanks for watching, guys.